everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I am your go-to Road to Kingdom dance analyst, and we are finally here. We are starting Road to Kingdom Ace of Ace with the Ace battles as well as the intro stages. So this is going to be split up into two parts for YouTube, but it's all going to be done in one go on Patreon, and you don't have to wait if you are on Patreon. So I am just so excited to just be able to start in real time. I'm just through the moon on it, and I do intend on looking at the episode as well, same day, but it'll get released later on YouTube, hopefully, if the copyright doesn't kill me. So I think without further ado, I think it's time to get started. All right, we have, I think this is my last one. Here we are, ready to go.
Team Unite.
And they're doing Bad Cupid. I'm gonna tell you right now, people are gonna compare this to ONEUS because of the laugh, the guns, the mischievousness. This feels Money Heist. Is that the actual trophy? Ah, that's cool. It's intense. Come on. Come on, Day.
I'm born in the I'm gonna get the trophy we had DUI. And it must be something that older tend to get a big you're ready on that one, that'll cook it for your part. Only one else get down and down, let me feel cool and I'm not the part.
So we're taking all the trophies. Okay, so I'm gonna, off the bat, just like what I said, people are gonna naturally, depending on the order, they're gonna be comparing Unite with ONEUS because you have that laugh, you have just the overall like unhingedness of the sets. Even though they were more Joker and they're more Money Heist, it's still it's like a comedic, humorous, like heisty based kind of concepts. Theirs was more like on the tricky illusions. Theirs is more we're on a mission with an objective, right? So right here, it didn't quite, what's the word? Didn't quite connect to me, unfortunately. And it did feel like Day was carrying the vocal side, like more so than a lot of other groups. Like there was other groups that I feel that you had somebody like an outlier always keep popping up. With ONEUS, you saw that. With 8-turn, I also noticed that as well. And then of course with Day here. But I'm not saying like that's not on them. I'm not really gonna talk about that being like that's on them inherently. They go, of course we look over. So for me, you have this little, you know, whistling. He goes, it's like he's getting booked or something, you know, in jail, and then he's taking photos or something. He goes, he throws it, and then you have a ha 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 ha. So I like the commitment of that, and the throw, cool, but also, and now we're all of a sudden going into a dance. That doesn't feel, the flow's not flowing. So that's my note there. And they go, we accent, boom, boom, very stiff in the torso. Could be his outfit or could just be the movement itself. So that's my note there. He's using his extremities and he's relying upon his biceps and triceps to do the movement. He has killer arms, call it what it is, but he's not using any of his back to allow this to have any force behind it. It just feels placed versus actual base representation through the movement quality. So that's my note there. They reset, boom, boom, and we hit bass, bass. Then we go have a little moment there, and it goes boom. So that matches the sound pretty well. And you have something in the center, cool, nothing crazy. So they go, they look over, they're like, hey, what's up? That was a really nice way to interpret that sound. I like that. Then you have a little vault in the back. Then you have these machine guns. So now the guns also match the gun that you saw ONEUS have. So that's going to be comparison number 2. The guns those are wild. If you realistically own that weapon, that is, I don't think we need to own those, but anyway. So the walk forward, the masks, okay, fine. We're walking more of that militant vibe, that do-do-do-do. Cool. They look up, they're like, choo-choo. So I like the sound, so this was pretty cool. He goes, hey, go get it, let's go. They run down, and they're like, ha, 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 ha. And then they go, they pull it, they're like, ha, ha, look what we have. Look at that. Throw the masks away. And then we go. He hops over. For me, it's like he hops over. He would be the one you would expect to get the trophy, but they actually have Day get it. And also because you have glass shatter and the LED in the back, and we technically saw somebody use fake glass already in the ace battles, and we know that the ace battles happened before this because I had somebody on Patreon tell me so I could review these in order for this note. Because we've already saturated in our brains, whenever we see, like, you hear a broken glass, I've seen ATs break glass on Kingdom Legendary War. So we have this expectation from franchise past. That's okay that we have that. There's no problem with that. They understand how the show works, as you've seen. I feel like, in general, and this is an A+ from all crews affiliated, the fact that I get to say that it feels like every crew brought it to the demands of the franchise and what is held to the standard that we have seen from seasons past. I cannot say the same thing about the intro stages of Legendary War. And you can hear my notes there. I don't know if those made its way onto YouTube. I don't think those did, but Challenge 1 did. So that's a huge shout out to everybody. Regardless of the rankings, everybody understood the assignment of what show they were on. We can't negate that. All the fans are worried for their groups. I get it. Mnet's the worst when it comes to manipulation editing. So that's why I'm here trying to be as objective as I can in my scope, you know, as not a fan of any one group, but I've done the time in analyzing their movement quality to bring something hopefully helpful to the table to help people understand no one's going to be perfect. Every single group has something constructive to be given to them. All of them do. Some groups can have fantastic intro stages. Some are going to have underwhelming. But then there's going to be other challenges that they're going to go pedal to the metal and freaking kill it, you know? And that's what's happened in every season. So I know that going in, I hope you find comfort in that. I'm not going to sit here and view a group and be like, they're the worst. No, I may be more constructive, but that doesn't mean that I'm not sitting here looking forward to seeing their growth, because that's going to happen and I can't wait for that. Anyway, back to the original point that I have. We are used to seeing on Kingdom, when we hear glass shattering and we see something in a box, normally we have glass around it. So for him to imagine, like, doing a pretend breaking of glass doesn't feel as convincing because of our saturation of what we normally see in a circumstance similar to this. So that's my note that I'm giving there. He goes, that little brrr, cool. Crazy, and then we have a little reverb on the end. So I like the impact of that. We slide the guns away. I will say they also had a nice little surprise on getting the guns on stage, so that was a cool prop transition. But now it feels like, okay, now it's time to dance. Just like it felt the first time they broke out into a dance break. So that's my note there. And we'll take it, da 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 da. Play it, da da da. And it also feels like every other member of UNITE they're focused on dancing and Day is focusing on carrying the vocals on it. And I think that's my drawback, is I liked that ONEUS, everybody committed to singing. It was a team effort. It wasn't we're relying on Day to justify vocals and we're going to justify dance. Like, it feels very itemized. It doesn't feel like we're in this together. Does that make sense? I feel like it's an imbalance on who's covering what role, is my note that I'm going to give. Day does a great job, and I'm not saying UNITE's not doing a good job, but that's a constructive note I'm giving that I hope to see grow in the future. That's my note there. So they go, they drop down, little boom, boom. That definitely feels like that little afro, like what you see in that do-do-do-do-do, like little Imniki or like I'm a piano kind of viral dances. I feel like that's what that move is, isn't it? The accent up is fine, the little clap, clap, and then take it, ba-da-da. Now this little sound that we're hearing. Oh, that's right. I remember. I think I said Back Cupid reminded me of Her by Block B, I think is what I said. Anyway, I don't know if that's necessarily, if that was the one I said, but that's what that sound reminds me of, but that ties into Back Cupid. And then they go that vroom, vroom. That was nice. I like the head, vroom, when the sound drops out and you have a rotation. That's exactly what that sounds like. And then right here, da 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 da, get the trophy, and they hit it, do brrrah, which is also really nice. We're here for it. Bring it over, and they hit it, boom, boom. I light the branch over. Also, I think it could be Dae's already had an entire ace battle take place. He has that under his belt, so we're already very saturated in Dae. So I like being able to showcase other people, but then also Hwanwoong from ONEUS, he was a heavy hitter character in their set, in their intro, but I think part of that is because of how captivating he is as a performer. I think that's part of it too. And also I would see little hints of, I would say with 8 turn, my ace there, but it's 2 separate concepts, but he was kind of that feature performer in all of those. But this one really feels like this is Dae's concert and they're doing backup for him. That's what it feels like. That's what I'm locking in, and I hate saying that. But I'm just gonna be honest, that's what it feels like. They're also operating with 1 less member too, and I understand that too. So they go swing, swing with the arms. He's giving Bobby vibes though, which is cool. And the little pull is nice on that. They go back down and up, they'll do, which is nice. And they go, nice little dance break on the tail end. They kick through into the turn. They're doing pretty good on staying clean, so that's cool. Am I a fan of the choreography? Personally, no. That's a choreography note though. And I was very constructive on Unite's discography in the realm of choreography as well. So that's why it doesn't surprise me. And that's the beauty of doing the marathon, is that I can go in with way more knowledge, so I can be genuinely helpful and not a caught off guard kind of way. Like this is meeting expectations in a good way. It makes me excited to see them grow. I'm so excited for Unite's growth in this season. I really feel that way. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Anyway, see somebody in the back, so they have their moment, go high, low. Literally the format of this is Dae is the solo performer and they are the backup dancers. Yeah. That's my big hiccup on this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and the every point. Okay, fine. Whoops. And they go, they point, and I like the little brrr with the ripples is nice. And he goes, he says, haha, let's throw it. And then you have Dae in the back. And then you have this laugh. I don't know why we have this laugh. Is he like the go-to hype man for Dae? I don't know. They go, he has it. They're like, let's go. They go and we toss it and we drop it down. Look at all the trophies. And we finish. So being very honest with you, if I had not marathoned Unite before, I would probably still have the same notes, but it doesn't feel like I'm watching a team right now based off of this and based off the ace. So that's what my hope is I think a lot of it's on the choreography. We have to talk about that. Not only that, I do think it's just the structure of it. I don't know too. We need to talk about this. Oh my gosh, can't believe I haven't talked about it yet. And we're at the last one. I'm so sorry. Something really important to note is a lot of these groups do not have as much of a say in what they do on this show like people think. If you go back to Legendary War with Stray Kids, you had to see in the behind the scenes, you saw how they had to advocate hard to get what they wanted to do on stage. Whenever you watch The Boys, they also had to advocate, but they lost. That the company did what they wanted to do, and they just had to say, okay, and they had to do it, because they didn't want to go the direction that they did in Legendary War, and that wasn't on them. So we have to think about that right now. How much control, realistically, do these groups have in the choices of their intro stages, their costuming, the composition, all of that? And so I want you guys to know that my heart goes out to these groups for the fact that they're going to have some hardships, they're going to have some great moments, but really, really tough times, and a lot of it's not going to be in their control. And my heart hurts for that, but I want to be a soft place to land for as many people as possible, including the groups. If the groups watch this, I hope I'm helpful. I want to make this for everybody, not just for the fans, but for those that really care about the beauty and the art of dance, and I want to be an advocate for growth, and that's why I took the time to understand their movement quality going in, understand what their background is, so I can see where their baseline is, so we can see them skyrocket in incredible ways. So I mean, if we're going off of like now actually talking through what would my picks be, I would say top, I could really see 8 Turn taking the intro stages. That was a really, really well done overall performance. I can also say ONEUS be in the top tier for that as well, for their structure too. I could see this one with Unite unfortunately being in the bottom sense of things. I'm trying to think of, what's funny is now that I think back, it's like really hard to think about all the groups that I saw and what they did, but those stuck out to me. I also think that the new 6 their structure was really well done for the space that they were in. I would give them that for sure. I can see them in the upper ranks for that. I unfortunately can see UNITE being in the bottom for the itemized, like isolated performance that we saw here. And I hate saying that, but for members of the competition, do I mean that they did poorly? No. I just think there's more notes that I gave theirs compared to others. And that's just my opinion. Remember, I'm a commentator, and that's okay. Oh, we just now got the fan cams. We just now got the fan cams. Oh, I'm annoyed. Fan cams. Ooh. I think I just realized that I watched this out of order. I'm so sorry. So notice all my groups that are in the back here, they're not seeing, they're seeing what we're seeing. All those guys in those back corners. Very heavy to camera. Ah! Oh! Oh, there was somebody else singing. I didn't catch that. That's on me. I'm sorry about that. There was somebody else. But I still feel the way that I do, though, so I'll stand behind it. So you notice all this stuff going on right here? If you're in those back corner groups, you didn't see none of that. So that's I stand by that for sure. This one was not tailored to their audience at all. Can that cost them? I don't know what everybody else is thinking, but if I was sitting there, that would be something I would know, and that actually validates all of my thoughts. Was that right there? Thank you guys for watching this with me. Some of you guys have made it all the way through from the tip top of the ACE analysis all the way through here. If you're on Patreon, more power to you. I'm shocked myself I made it through. But this makes me so excited. I hope you're excited to watch the episode with me. My goal is episode 1 will be released to the public, but all future episodes are going to be exclusive to paid members on Patreon. But I will have a group chat on Patreon. You do not have to be a paid member. It can be a free member to join and be a part of the discussions. I'd love to meet you there. Rep your fandom. I also want to hear more context. What's going on in the neck of the woods of all the fandoms? Is there any beef that's going on? Anything that's starting to stir that I can help kind of alleviate or put fires out on? I hope I was able to kind of cover some things here. But remember, I am team everyone except Mnet for this. I want everybody to grow. I want everybody to experience celebrations. I want everybody to experience, growth and safe hardships. Yeah, like the challenges, I don't want to be left with PTSD like what we've had from other kingdoms. I want to be able to put my best foot forward and help be an advocate for groups. And I hope I was able to be clear or constructive, but still show that I really do care about these groups and that they are people. And at the end of the day, who freaking cares about the rankings? Did they feel good about what they did? And I want them to be able to celebrate that. So I'm excited for the discussions on all of this. You guys know me, I know you. I am Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.